We are here today because over 7,000 people participated in a consultation that led to the National Capital Commission recommending Tunney's Pasture as the location for the new Ottawa Hospital. And yet, we now have a new proposed location right next to our beautiful Dow's Lake, a UNESCO heritage site, and a proposal for an airport-sized parking garage that will destroy almost 600 of the beautiful trees behind me. Why was this decision made, and how did we get here? There are viable alternatives to felling almost 600 trees and putting up a 4-story airport-sized parking garage for the new Civic hospital. The best time to preserve our green space, as the saying goes, was 100 years ago. The second best time is now.
I continue to hear from hundreds of residents by email and by phone who are asking me, Joel, why would we do this in a climate emergency? Why would we, as Angela said, rip up so many of our forest canopy right here in the heart of Ottawa, put the hospital in an even precarious site across from a UNESCO World Heritage Site when Tunney's Pasture was identified by the NCC in a comprehensive report as an ideal location for this new hospital to go. And sole source procurement is an unfortunate trend in this city with limited transparency, and I have asked the Ottawa Hospital to produce the evidence behind this site location, and it's not been forthcoming. So I'm joining Angela's call for a public inquiry into why the hospital is to be placed here, and I'm urging our decision makers at all levels to make sure we get this new modern hospital right.
Is it a matter that you want a good answer as to why the hospital has to go here? Or is your position that it shouldn't go here and that we need to restart some other process to put it somewhere else?
We want a good answer for why this is the only location that it can go to. If we have to tear down trees, we want to know what that justification is, because we haven't gotten one. Why this site is better than Tunney's Pasture. They've not told us why they moved it from Tunney's. Was there something that we don't know about that they're not telling us, that why they didn't put it at Tunney's? Because the consultation came up with Tunney's. It's next to public transit. There's not, trees there that need to be cut down. So it's a really big question. Why are you making such a huge shift in your decision without giving any reason for it or justification for it? So if it really is the case that this is the only place the hospital can go, we know we need the hospital, right? We know that it's going to service a large number of people. We want a hospital, but we don't think that when we hear that justification, there will be one that's satisfying.
The province has a 5-phase process. We're at near the end of phase 2, I think. So a lot of people will say there's been a lot of time and effort put into this particular site, and it's too late. That this debate about where to put it is over. I mean, how would you respond to the thing that the horse has left the barn, that it's too late to?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just a bluff, right? There's like Joel said, shovels aren't going to go into the ground until 2024.
On the hospital. The garage is supposed to be next spring.
So then it's really important that we get moving on this, right? And we get a decision, because there's a lot of problems with the hospital. There's a lot of problems with public transit connecting. You see the bike paths here that are quite well used. What's going to happen to that active transportation options for people?